does it say? Appropriate government shall in the manner as provided. What do they need to do? They need to fix the minimum rates of wages payable to the employees employed in specified in part 1 or part 2 of the schedule. Basically, if minimum rates of wages for scheduled employment with special allowance from 2011 as applicable. Okay, so this is probably an old notification. They've not updated the website, but this is how you're supposed to find it. For every scheduled employment, for even zones and for even specific cities, they have a right to fix different rates of wages. We will see that. So I want you all fix minimum rates of wages. ठीक है, नंबर 1 पॉइंट इज दैट दे आपको मिनिमम रेट ऑफ वेजेस कितना पे होना चाहिए आपको फिक्स करना है. करेक्ट. नंबर 2, who are you going to fix it for? You are going to fix it for employments that are there in the schedule. Correct. Then review it at such intervals as the government thinks fit, not exceeding 5 years. Today in 2023, if the government is giving out a rate of wages, after 5 years, my cost of living index is necessarily going to inflate or probably remain the same. But it is the government's duty to revisit what are the current payments being done, and they need to revise the minimum rates of wages. Okay, provided that when the government for any reason has not reviewed the minimum rates of wages in respect of scheduled employment within 5 years, they still have the power to do so. So here it says that it shall be deemed to prevent it from reviewing. Nothing shall of course deem them to prevent it from reviewing after 5 years. मतलब आप 5 साल में नहीं कर पाए, so we will still give you a right, do it after 5 years, but do it. This is important from the perspective of the employees that are there. Okay, so the government, number 1, has to do fix minimum rates of wages. Number 1, they have to do it for scheduled employments. Correct. They could be in part 1 or part 2 of the schedule. Number 3 is that they need to review it in an interval of 5 years, maximum 5 years. Okay. Now, the interesting part here is that minimum rates of the government has the power to fix minimum rate of wages for time work, कि आपने कितना समय काम किया हम उससे आपको पैसे देंगे. मिनिमम रेट ऑफ वेजेस फॉर पीस वर्क, आपने मेरे लिए 100 बॉक्स बनाए या 1000 बनाए, मैं उस हिसाब से पर पीस पैसे दूंगा. मिनिमम रेट ऑफ वेजेस टू अप्लाई इन केसेस ऑफ एम्प्लॉय डूइंग पीस वर्क एंड सिक्योरिंग मिनिमम रेट्स ऑन टाइम. टू अप्लाई इन, basically they have the power to do it for time, for peace, and later if you see they also have the power to fix and revise minimum rates of wages for different scheduled employments. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर I am in a rice mill or I am in an oil mill, I will have to be paid same. No, there are different types of employments. They could also fix minimum rates of wages for different classes of work in the same scheduled employment. If I'm doing semi-skilled work, if I'm doing skilled work, if I'm doing unskilled work, I could be paid differently. I can also, the government also has power to fix different minimum rates of wages for adults, adolescents, children, and apprentices as well. And they can further provide different rates of wages for different localities. They can also provide different rates of wages for hour, day, month. Okay. The intent here is, so a quick summary of this is, government has the power to fix wages. They will do it for scheduled employments. They have the power to do what? You can do it for time rate. You can do it for piece rate. You also can do it for different classes of workers. You can also do it for different localities. You can do it by the hour, by the month. Correct? You can do it in the same scheduled employment for different people. Why do you think so?